And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And joining me today is a very festive Rapid Dave. How you doing, buddy?
I couldn't find my Santa Claus hat. I was like,
It's-
where the hell is it? I ran in there. Lizzie's all busy working and stuff. I was like, oh,
You're
you
like,
can't
stop
be.
working, woman. We have priorities here. We need a Santa hat. Stats.
I know, right? And she didn't even like get up to go help me find one. I was like, what the hell's going on? She's all busy. I don't know.
I don't think she loves you, man. I
God,
think I think she's kind of had enough of your crap, and it's time for her to move on. Like,
it's the beginning of the end, to say
yeah,
the least.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You've had a good run though, so
Yeah.
you can't be too upset.
Yeah.
But here we are reviewing the classic 1989 smash hit movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I was floored to see the scores on this, the reviews. 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb and 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't understand what's going on with this world. This is it, and if you don't like this movie, uh I we can't be friends anymore. Like, this is it's a classic, right? This
I mean,
is
let's be honest. This is when I always say, my favorite Christmas movies, this is 1A or 1B to Christmas Story, right?
yeah.
This is one of the first ones I kick off the season with, and
Mhm.
I'll watch it multiple times. Now, I have a rule for Christmas Story. I only watch it once a year, and it's for 24 hours of Christmas Story. But Christmas Vacation gets play whenever I find it. Whenever I see it, if it's on, I'm watching.
This is so there's two movies, this and Christmas Story, right?
Mm.
Thanksgiving night, when we're done with the dinner, football's over, we sit down and we watch Christmas Vacation. And then Christmas Eve is all Christmas Story. Like, it's just if there's a TV on in the house, it's on this. If you try and turn the TV on to something else, I'm going to smack you and I'm going to turn it to Christmas Story. But yeah, no, Christmas Vacation always leads it off, and I mean it's great. I mean, there's so many iconic lines in it, um, awesome scenes, things that we quote the whole year. Um, and then I also found out that, like, we've also been quoting it incorrectly as well. Like, just realized that now.
Which part?
Uh, Shitter's full.
What have we been incorrectly?
It's shitter was full.
Center was full. Yeah.
Shitter was full, not just
Yeah.
shitter's full.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I know, yeah, I know.
and I saw that and I was just like, wait a minute. I had to rewind it. And I was like, what did he just say?
Merry Christmas. You checked our shitters, honey? That's actually the namesake of the Strikeout beer that we're having brewed by Dumpweed Brewing.
Yes. But I mean, this movie's great. It starts off with that music. Like, when that music kicks in, the smile goes on the face and you're just ready for a classic. And I mean, there's so many like awesome and fun parts about this, but there's also like so many questions. Like, they go get the family tree, right? And they
Mhm.
don't have an axe.
Yeah, they didn't bring a saw or anything.
How did you get that tree out of there? Did you dig that out with your hands? Did you just so happen to have a shovel? Like, I don't know, because you dug out some of the roots.
Mhm.
I guarantee you a tree like that had bigger roots than that.
Yeah.
That was a good sized tree.
It's got so
Uh,
many questions about the tree. Yeah, I mean, and that front-wheel drive sleigh that he's got ain't yanking that thing out.
right? And you can't get it back to there because they hiked forever to get
Can you
there.
imagine dragging that damn thing out of there?
You couldn't.
Because
You couldn't
and then,
do
of
it.
course, one of the quotes is, "That thing wouldn't fit in our yard. It ain't going in our yard, Russ." Oh, it's a good-looking tree, though. Oh, God.
It is good. And continuing on with the tree, he's sitting there and he's getting ready to cut the end off to take in the tree, and the neighbor's like, "Where are you going to put that tree? Bend over and I'll show you." How can you talk to me like that? I wasn't talking to you.
Elaine from Seinfeld's like,
It-
yeah, talking to you. God.
and you have the family show up. You get the parents and the in-laws. Why do they have to show up on December 14th? Like,
Why are they there so early?
is this just a thing like this happened back in the day, like a long time ago? I don't know. And then you have both families over. That's just brave right there. You
Oh,
know,
right.
that's just
Where are they from? Do they ever say where they're from? Because
I think
I
it's
figured they're Huh?
I think they're from like Chicago because he's got the Blackhawks jersey and stuff like that. So somewhere in Illinois, I'm assuming.
Well, I assume that's where Clark lives, and
Yeah.
he doesn't strike me as a guy that's gonna, his family lives down in Florida, and he's gonna move up to Chicago. That's what I'm saying. Like, where are the in-laws and his
Oh,
parents from? You know?
you never hear anything. I
Mm,
mean, close enough they drove, right? So,
right.
but then again, the people drove everywhere back in the day. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's never. I don't know.
You actually
Um.
have an amazing cast in this movie too. Just,
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you're sitting there looking at it, and you're like, "Oh my god, these being." Like I said before, I go, "Why? Why is Audrey older than Rusty at this point?"
Right.
In every movie, she's younger, but
Yeah.
somehow Julia Lewis, she got cast for this role, and she's older than obviously Johnny Galecki. So
You're right. I mean, yeah, you got. I remember the first time I watched it and realized that was Johnny Galecki. Like, I didn't realize that was him back when he was on Roseanne and stuff back in the day. But it was after he was on Big Bang and he'd been on there for a while. And I'm watching one year. I was like, holy crap, that's freaking Johnny Galecki. Like, it took forever to actually like realize that and see that. But I mean, it's such a classic movie. Fun fact for you, because I kept track of this because I've always noticed it happens a lot.
mhm.
How many windows get broken in this movie?
I mean, we're talking 10 at least. We're in the double digits
Not
because the
quite.
tree takes out like 3 or 4, and then the cops that come in at the end, they take out at least 5 or 6,
Yeah, it was 8 total.
8
8.
total. Okay.
8 total windows, yeah. Close. But yeah, no, I was just like I'm watching it and that first time when he cuts the tree and it busts out and it busts the window, I'm like, "How many windows get broke in this?" Like, because you got the icicle that goes through the neighbor's window and breaks their stereo and stuff, and they're like, "What happened?" He's like, "I don't know. Why is it so wet in here?"
Why is the floor wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
I could
Or why
do
is
a whole podcast series just on those two's relationship, right? Like, it's just there's so much anger and tension, and they are hanging on by a thread over there already, and then just this happens, right? You just got this
having to
couple week period where they just lose it.
and having to live next to this lunatic. And they turns all those they get those lights turned on. Jesus Christ, it shuts down the whole power grid. They're having to hit the nuclear backup just to power his stupid ass lights.
Oh,
Oh,
man, they're so great because like, there's a house that we drive by when we go look at Christmas lights every year that does the Christmas vacation thing, like, they got a whole theme, and they have the big bright lights all over their house, and they've got, the front they have, like, a little, cousin, Eddie over there emptying the RV, and they have Clark hanging from the gutters and things like that. They have all that stuff there, and it's always awesome when we drive past that house.
Jesus.
Uh, it's just great. And there's just so many other parts, like when he gets trapped up in the attic and he finds like the old present. Have you ever done that? Like found like a present, like you hit a present and then you found it like a year or two later,
Of course. Yeah, I hide stuff all the time. I'm still finding stuff in my
right?
house.
It's
I don't
just like
know.
I'll pull something out and I'm like, holy crap, I was supposed to give this to you for Christmas last year. Guess you're
That's one
getting
of
it
the
this year.
weirdest that's one of the weirdest parts of the movie because up, he's in the house. He's the only one that seems to be awake. He goes up in the attic to hide some presents.
Mhm.
And then the lady comes out, the mom-in-law comes out, shuts the attic, and then they're all just ready to get in the car. There's not a sound or a peep, but then like instantly it's an hour later. So,
Yeah.
and now
And
they're all like, "Whoop, gotta go. We gotta go shopping."
he's up there like, where's he at? I don't know. He has his own car. He'll get there if he wants to. Like,
Probably farting around with those lights or whatever he calls them. If he isn't on the roof farting around with those lights, I don't know where he is. Jesus.
oh, and I got a kick out of when he's sitting there and he's talking to his niece and telling her, she's like, she says something about shitting bricks. He's like, you shouldn't say that word. She's like, Sorry, shitting rocks."
And she goes, what are you doing up? Or he's like, what are you doing awake? And he goes, Rocky bit my thumb. Like, so was her thumb in his mouth. These kids they got no chance. They got no chance.
None whatsoever. But yeah, but he's like, "Oh, look, her eyes are uncrossed now." Funny thing, she falls down a well, her eyes get crossed. Gets kicked by a mule, her eyes are uncrossed. Who knew?
He goes, I don't know.
I
Yeah, cousin Eddie and whatever show up in the RV. Halfway through, and it's just like out of nowhere, right there. They finally get the light. He can't get the lights lit. Finds out everything's plugged into this one switch that has like 50 freaking things plugged into it.
That's how things were done back then. Like
He
everything
flips the
was so
switch.
unsafe.
He gets everybody outside and is like, "Hey, it's so beautiful. I hope this adds to your holiday spirit or whatever." Then all of a sudden, there's Eddie. He
It's
goes,
like,
"I'll sure
he's like,
lose through this."
Merry Christmas, Eddie. Merry Christmas, Clark. Eddie, what? What? Ah!
And then another absolute gem of a quote. Are you surprised, Clark? Am I surprised, Eddie? If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now. I was like, head sewn to the carpet. That's like, this guy's great.
The
Whoever's
the
writing this needs a raise.
this was a John Hughes flick,
Yeah.
the great John Hughes, but, I mean, Chevy Chase he's a national treasure, right? I mean, everything that he's done is magical and amazing, and he's great. I love how, like, it's just everything's going wrong, right? But they're sitting down for Christmas Eve dinner, and he's just looking at everybody, and he's just got the biggest smile on his face, and he's so happy. He's like, "You know what? Through everything, everyone's coming together. Let's eat this turkey." And he cuts that turkey open, and it's just like,
Oh my God. Like I told you we put it in too early. I was like, I don't even know what the hell that means. He goes,
it,
there's a heart. So they having like this dinner that's everything's clanking around because everybody's eating sides at this point, right?
and and they're
They're trying
dipping their turkey into water to get a little bit of hydration into it. You you've got the Jello that the was it the aunt brought that had cat food on it, and Eddie's loving it. He's like, "This is good stuff right here, man. Let me get some more of that." And
get
just
your Aunt Bethany, any chance your cats eat Jello? He goes, I don't know about the cats, but I'm sure enjoying it. That damn dog's running around. Eddie's freaking rot that he brought.
yeah, you got that whole awkward tension. He's like, "Yeah, it sounds like he's choking on a bone." He's good. He coughed it up. Well, maybe if you didn't feed him off the table. No, no, didn't feed him off the table, Clark. Probably
No,
digging through your trash.
he probably just knows it through the trash.
Oh man, it's just you got the whole thing where he goes and takes his boss and brings him uh, tied up with a big giant bow on him, and he cut the Christmas bonuses. And I love the line from the police officer when he's like, "Yeah, I toyed around with the decision to cut bonuses," and the wife's like, "You didn't do it." And the police officer goes, "That's low, mister. If I had a rubber hose, I'd beat you with it."
Yeah, you get a little police brutality in this movie. It's got everything, folks. It's every.
It's just, oh my gosh, it's so great. I, I I laughed the entire time. The scene with the squirrel and the squirrel's in the tree. I mean, just
That's another quote.
everything.
She goes, "You hear that?" And Bethany's like, "You hear that? It's a funny squeaky sound." And the guy's like, "You couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant." All of a sudden, the damn squirrel gets spooked, jumps out of the tree, and that's a whole scene. Like they run over, like people faint, like his mom faints, and then everybody else is getting run over. And he goes, "Where's Eddie at? He usually eats these damn things." He goes, "Russ, give me, what do you need a
Oh,
coat and a hammer for?"
'cause I'm gonna catch him and I'm gonna hit him.
Catch him with a coat, smack him with a hammer.
He's walking out there and his dad's like, "I'm coming with you, son. Let's go."
God.
He's
Oh,
yelling at his
geez.
mom. He's like, "Mom, don't move. Don't move."
He's sitting there like, oh, I guess I got scared and ran. Damn thing's on his back, like holding on to this middle. Squirrel! Oh my!
Oh, man. But if you can't tell it's an awesome movie, guys, check it out. If you haven't checked it out, I don't know how you've missed it, but go and check it out. And if you watch it again. Tell us where this movie ranks on your Christmas movie ranking lists. Like it's 1A, 1B for us here. You got this and Christmas Story. Um, it's a laugh a minute. You won't regret it. It's just an awesome movie. And there's so many things like we haven't even talked about, but we could sit here and talk about this movie probably for about 6 hours. I mean, just to be honest, it's an hour and a half movie, right? But that's not going to stop us. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, follow, comment. If there's anything you want us to watch, just shoot us over an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Talk to you guys later. Deuces.